Hey everyone, Anthony Scott here, ToyHopUSA.com. Today we are reviewing Diamond Select Toys' newly released The Lord of the Rings Deluxe Select Saruman and Samwise Gamgee figures that are available now. Thank you to Diamond Select Toys for sending the set along for review. It's greatly appreciated. In this review, I have comparisons coming with some of the additional figures that have been offered so far in this line, so make sure to check that out. These figures are packaged in the standard window box, which has the artwork here and the logo, and you can see the figures inside along with all of their accessories. On the back, you have the Lord of the Rings logo, you have images of the figures, and a look at some additional figures that have been previously offered. There's also a description, which is the same on both the backs of this packaging here. And on the sides, you have the window box with the logo. It's the same on both sides. And here's the other side. So I'm going to take these out of packaging now, and let's take a closer look. Here's a closer look at their plastic trays. There are trays on both sides, keeping these closed, so you can store the figures and their accessories. And here is a closer look here. Saruman interchangeable arms, which you see here. And Samwise comes with the bulk of the accessories that we're going to be taking a closer look at. So I'm going to open these up now, and let's take a closer look. Here's your in-hand look at Saruman. He comes in a light beige robe with a little bit of a dark wash over it. And there are several layers. The top part is a separate layer, and some of the other pieces are also additional layers. The robes are all given sculpted details, which is very nice. Sculpted folds, things like that. Here's a look at all sides. And the layers, this is all one piece down here. The bottom part is all one piece. And just showing you guys how it looks from the bottom here. The arms are also one piece with these parts hanging down. Let's get them back to stand. There we go. All right, so facial details, nicely done. Good likeness. The eyes are looking up. I kind of wish that they were looking straight ahead, but they are looking up. Interestingly enough, when you think of Saruman, you think of Saruman the White. Well, I looked it up online, and there are more than one appearances of the character. He's usually wearing white, but I did find source material of him wearing this beige outfit as well. So that is what this figure is based off of. The sculpted hair, also very nicely done with a wash. The beard and the hair on the top of his head, on the back. Same great attention to detail back here as well. The belt has its own detail, and you see that nicely done sculpting and pattern right here. And also parts of the chest. He has some additional patterns. And going down the front of the robe, you see additional patterns here on both sides. Saruman has some limited articulation, so he's not given as much compared to other select figures offered in Lord of the Rings or Marvel Select, for example. This includes a ball-jointed head, swivel hinge shoulders. The elbows can swivel, but this part of the robe isn't really meant to. Swivel wrists, which you can also take out. That's pretty easy to do. Ball-jointed torso, but limited range of motion, given that the robe is kind of in the way. Swivel waist. I believe these are ball-jointed, yeah, probably ball-jointed hips, all the way back there. The legs are probably swivel hinged. Can't really tell too much, but he also has swivel hinge ankles. Included are interchangeable arms, and on this one there is a hand that is actually reversed. The thumb is upside down, so this is the wrong hand, but I'm going to be swapping it out when I put this inside the figure, so it would make a little bit more sense. This can be removed easily, so that's what I mean. He also includes his staff, an orb, and an interchangeable hand that can hold the orb. Here I switched out the right hand, so you'll notice that the hand is different, as this was on the other arm. Here's a look at the interchangeable arms. These arms are bent and can also swivel, as shown, but they're really not meant to. There are also swivel hinge shoulders there. Here's a look at the staff. It fits in that open grip right hand, which I swapped out to put this on, and it stays in pretty well. The staff is black with a white orb right on top. Here is a closer look at it, just to give you guys a full look. It's the same on all sides. Here's a look at that left interchangeable hand that can hold the orb or black crystal ball. And the ball itself, very nicely done, nice shine to it. Here's a closer look at it for your reference. He has a good grip on it, however, it is loose fitting, so it will fall off, especially if the figure falls down, for example. Here is a comparison with Gandalf the Grey. And here is a comparison of the back. And finally, here is a comparison of Saruman with some orcs, because as you know, he sided with the enemy. Moving on to Samwise now. He comes in a light gray shirt with dark gray pants, a brown belt and suspenders, and brown buttons, which are all sculpted and painted on. The belt buckle is also metallic silver, and he has sculpted hair on the top of his feet. The clothes have paint washes on there, indicating it's dirty from his adventure with Frodo. And bringing him in closer so you guys can see the head sculpt. Head sculpt is decent. You can tell from the actor's likeness on there. Hair is sculpted and with paint washes. Hair looks great. And here is a look at the back. Belt buckle and all that nicely done paint washes that they worked on. He is also fully articulated, so I think you guys would know what to expect as far as that with other Lord of the Rings select figures. This includes a ball-jointed head, good range of motion, swivel-hinged shoulders, swivel-hinged elbows, swivel-hinged wrists. Actually, the hinge joint is right on top of the wrist there, not on the side. Ball-jointed torso, ball-jointed hips, good range of motion right there. Swivel-hinged knees, and hinged and rocker ankles. There's also holes on the bottom of the feet, so he can stand on a acrylic base, but he does not come with one. Samwise includes all of the accessories that you see here, including the green elven cloak and the backpack. He also includes a bag, a sword, and a shining sword, which lets you know when orcs are nearby, a box, alternate pair of hands, including one hand that has that glass jar that can scare off spiders. And he also includes a sheath for his sword. Here's a look at Samwise with his backpack on. The backpack cannot be placed over the cape, so this goes on separately. It's either or. And the back of the backpack, he has all those accessories sculpted on, none of which can be removed. Any of these pots or pans, things like that. He has all this stuff, and the paint applications are just phenomenal on this. You see they really went ahead and paid attention to the deco on the pots and pans here, just to make it realistic looking, and I think they did a great job on this. Here's a look at that green cloak and saddle that fits over his torso. First, you need to pop the head off to put both of these accessories on. Here's a look at the back. You see the cloak has all that great paint wash and detail there. Here's a closer look at the sword and the sheath. The sword is painted in a metallic silver with a black handle, and the sheath is in a dark brown with some very nicely done sculpted details on there, and also a little bit of paint wash. The sword can also fit inside the sheath. Here's a look at the sword as it's placed inside the sheath. Here I swapped out some interchangeable hands. The hand on the left has that jar with the beacon that lights up that can scare off spiders. Here's a look at that sword that lights up when orcs are near. Also the beacon I left in his hand, and that box on the bottom, he can't hold that box. So I'm just gonna bring it up closer so you guys can see it. This box, sculpted and painted to look like wood with a little bit of green up on top there. I can't read what that says. And it has a metallic silver clip there. Here's a look at the bottom and all sides. Here's a closer look at the sword, painted just like the other sword. However, it is white and blue, which again, it lights up when orcs are near. Now, what do you say we start comparing? Here is a comparison with Smeagol and Frodo. Here is a comparison with other members of the Fellowship of the Ring. If you're paying attention still, Boromir is missing from this video, and that's because I don't have that figure in hand, as DST ran out, and I just never purchased one. Also missing are the other two Hobbits, as those two guys have not been released yet, but just note they are coming. Here is a comparison with Saruman and Samwise together. As you can see with these comparisons, DST is paying close attention to the height of the figures as compared to how they looked on screen, and I think they're doing a great job as far as that. Overall, these are nice looking figures. I highly recommend you guys pick them up. Thank you again to Diamond Select Toys for sending this wave along for review. It's greatly appreciated. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more coverage and reviews.